Okay, so here's our Panasonic GH1 with its 14-140 lens. This is a great high definition lens. We usually use the 45-200 for airshow photography because we just need as much zoom as we can get. But for interviews, this lens is awesome. The standard microphone setup, the stereo mic that comes with the camera, is a great microphone. It works really well. The camera does have wind cut feature inside it. However, we found that this optional microphone that you can get from Panasonic, the DMW M51, works much better. It's just a great microphone. I know there's others out there that people are trying to get to work, and I think they're having a lot of really good success. We just needed to stick with something that we knew would work right off the bat. This just attaches right on top. Tighten it up. Here's the wind cut feature. Don't forget to turn it on. You have to turn it on every time you use it. And the little plug fits right into that hole right there. Okay? And this thing just works great. It's really good for interviews, especially on windy days. Filming outside, air shows, things like that. It's a directional mic and it works really well. However, there are times when when Evan is doing his interviews and we want to use a clip-on style mic that we can clip on someone's shirt. We picked this up from Radio Shack. It works really well. It takes a little watch style battery inside it, and don't forget to turn it on. Any microphone that you do use with the Panasonic camera does have to have its own power source. So these work really well, except this plug here is the wrong size. So again, we went to Radio Shack and got this little adapter plug, and it plugs in like so. Okay? And then if Evan is interviewing more than one person, we have more than one of these little microphones. You just get one of these adapters. It allows you to hook up two mics. You still have stereo and great audio quality. So that's one way that we're doing it. Here's an extension cable. I think it's about 30 feet long or 20 feet long, and this has worked real well on some interviews for Evan. The other thing I want to show you is our camera. I don't know what to call this. It's a rifle camera mount, I suppose. There's outfits on the internet. You can buy things like this, well over $100. I saw some do-it-yourself setups on the internet for people making their own. But I just wanted to show you this one. It took a few changes and modifications, and now it's working really well. I made an extension here so that the bracket would fit over my shoulder, and where before this bit right here I ended up having to press it into my shoulder to hold it in place. Now the whole thing rests quite firmly and gives me great stability. I took a piece of old bicycle tube, glued it down here so that the camera, when screwed in place, rests on a piece of rubber, doesn't want to turn. I don't have to screw it on really tight, and gives it a little cushioning. Picked this up also in the hardware store. This knob is what allows us to mount it up. I bought this little nylon nut here, which I can use to screw on the other side here so that the knob won't get lost. It would really suck if we got to an air show and found that I'd been dragging this thing around and didn't have a way to attach the camera. So we have that little retaining nut, and it also works as a spacer so that the thread doesn't stick too far into the camera. You just thread this onto the bottom of the tripod mount. You have to make sure you get the same pitch and threads per inch of the little knob, and away you go. The bolts and nuts I had laying around. This is a replacement hammer handle that I picked up at the hardware store. Just chopped off the excess, drilled and tapped a threaded bolt inside it, so that I could have the angle that I want. And now the camera rests quite securely on my shoulder. I'm able to operate all the controls of the camera with my right hand. Having an autofocus really helps. The zoom ability of the lens right here is still hand powered. I have to use my left hand to do it while I'm adjusting the zoom. At an air show, about 100% of the time we're at maximum zoom with the 45-200 lens. We just need as much zoom as we can get. But I'm going to put together a little adapter that's going to allow me to, as I turn this handle, it will adjust the zoom of the lens. And so I will be able to completely use the camera with my hand here and here, and be able to zoom and shoot as the airplanes fly by. So a little bit of tinkering and about $10 worth of material from the hardware store, and we've got a much better platform for shooting with the GH1. And
isn't this cool? Wow.